I mean, I just remember running and then staring out the window the rest of that night, peeking through the curtains of my room, watching with that light, the wood line across that creek for anything. I just felt like whatever it was might come down there. And the next day, I would go out there with the dairy farmer that had the farm in between where it happened and our property, and have him walk with me to show him what I found. In that moment, he says, "Don't worry about this." We found footprints. We found toe prints on one side of the bank, heel print on the other, and then these gouge marks. And on the side that I heard all the crashing on, there were a bunch of, some trees completely busted down, others it was just branches. It sounded like there shouldn't be a tree there, but there were trees there. But most of it was broken branches, but there were a couple of smaller trees that were just completely knocked over. So he witnessed this with me, and he made me promise. He said, "I'll take care of this, but you got to promise me you'll never talk about this to anybody." He says, "Can you promise me that?" I said, "Yeah, sure." And I didn't. I never told anybody.
Carlos Jimenez is an anthropologist and Bigfoot researcher who currently lives in the Pacific Northwest. An encounter with a Bigfoot creature in his childhood caused him to realize that Sasquatch do in fact exist. However, he remained silent on the topic until he was an adult. Many hundreds of people with similar encounters decide to remain tight-lipped on their own run-ins with North America's bipedal ape, either out of fear or the anxiety of being ridiculed by their friends and family. Anyone who has had an encounter of their own knows that Bigfoot creatures quietly roam the mountains, forest, and countryside, occasionally receiving a startling glimpse by unsuspecting passers-by. Carlos is now open about his research for Sasquatch and has had run-ins all across the United States, including in Pennsylvania, New York, Washington, and Texas. He joins us with an exclusive look at his encounters with North America's wild man of the woods.
I was probably 18 before I started talking about Bigfoot, and I'd never heard or saw anything like that again. And nobody I knew growing up there had heard or seen of anything like this. There were, again, TV shows and stuff would come out, and I was like, I think that's what I saw. But, all I did was have an interest in it. I didn't talk about my experience. I wouldn't say I was traumatized, but years went by. It wasn't until college when I was in California taking an anthropology class,